Hey y'all, this is the legendary Sonny G, Sonny with an O, not a U.
And this is your boy Sterling Moody.
And we are Effa Podcast.
Effa Podcast.
And thank you for listening to us. So make sure you tune in to Effa Podcast, a real N-word podcast where we talk about
real N-word stuff.
That's it. So make sure y'all tune in.
Effa Podcast.
Effa Podcast. And that's actually the topic of today's show. I wanted to know about discipline, because if I understand correctly, so your son's mom does not believe in physical discipline.
Yeah. So my girlfriend doesn't believe in physical discipline at all. Which like she's not a beat your kids type person.
Which is like only 2% of black people in the United States. So yeah. It's really fascinating that I've met one. I think I've only met one non-whooper black person in my life.
See, like the way that she tells it is like, well, you know, if you beat your kids, it's because you don't have anything. You're not smart enough to
actually articulate. Right.
Yeah. And that's how my mom used to tell me about cursing. But I really like cursing, so I really kind of think I might like beating my kid, which might mean something. Cursing
doesn't mean it. I used to have a friend who his uncle used to let us say shit, and that's because his definition was sometimes shit is the best way to describe some shit.
Yeah,
and that is like one of the, even at 35, that is one of the truest things. So my daughter, she's 10, and since she's been 4, I've let her say shit, and it doesn't bother me at all, because again, shit is just the best way to describe shit sometimes. And so she says shit, and it doesn't make me bat an eye, but other people hear it and go, what did she just say? Oh my God, are you going to do something about this? Like, no, she just said that shit's crazy, and that shit is crazy.
See, and that's the thing, like, you know, our household, we've decided that our kids will curse. Like, they will curse in front of us the same way we curse in front of them. Like, hey man, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't curse at me, but you can curse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's part of the real world. I don't want my kid to be sheltered and grow into the real world and somebody talk to him out of hand and he's just like all fucked up. You know, like when they go into the military, like a lot of my family's from the military, and I went to ROTC, but I never joined. Mm-hmm. And, you know, because I didn't go to college and all that stuff. And I just decided, you know, I'm going to kick it on couches. But from everything that I've known from everyone that was successful in the military, they all said the people that don't make it are the kids who were coddled. And the kids who, like, you know, like their parents never yelled at them. I don't need my son to grow up and go out in life and struggle because he's never heard a harsh word.
Right.
I'd rather you hear it from me, and you know that at the end of the day I'm going to tell you I love you, and you can grow and be stronger than this, than for you to grow up and be like the weakest kid in your class because, you know, you never grew a backbone, and that comes from, you know, the house. Like, your parents teach you self-esteem.
It's crazy that you say that, because shout out to P.D. Mac, another comedian who's currently in the Navy, who's currently fighting for our freedoms in the Navy. Shout out to P.D. Mac.
That's the homie.
But he was telling me, because we were both discussing my first night of basic training. It was crazy because there was a symphony of crying that happened. Mm-hmm. It was like once the drill instructor closed the door, first you heard one, then you started hearing more. You heard two, and then you just heard a chorus. It was like they were in sync and harmonizing with crying. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Have y'all never spent a night away from home? And the one dude was like, they're yelling at us and they're making us wake up early and we got to clean. And I'm like, your parents must not have been nothing, because if being yelled at and having to clean is the worst of your issues, like what, you know, and again, this is where being like, not realizing that other cultures do other things. Mm-hmm. You know, in black culture, Sunday is wake your ass up. If you're not going to church, you're going to clean the house.
Yeah.
And so my whole thought was, well, what do y'all do on Sunday mornings? If nobody's yelling at you and telling you what to do and cussing at you on Sunday mornings, what do you?
Gospel music and the smell of bleach on Sunday?
Yeah.
Never get it. So my childhood was weird because I knew what was going on early. Like, my mom was one of those, like, I will spank you type people, but she was also, like, super cool. Uh-huh. And my mom, it was weird because, like, we grew up really deep in the hood. Uh-huh. And my mom did everything she could for us to not know that we grew up in the hood. But I was going to school with kids that were selling crack and everything. So I knew, Like,
you knew what the outside was like. Yeah, but in
inside
home,
the house, it was, it was cool. Like I couldn't say nigga, like I couldn't say any curse word. I was very much, like my mom, when I hopped in the car with my mom, she would throw on Radio Disney or gospel. So one of the first, purchases I made for myself was an MP3 player, because I was like, I knew I liked T.I. I knew I liked trap music. I knew.
So you wanted to hear your own music.
Yeah. So that was the first thing I did. That was kind of like my first real step towards being my own man, being able to listen to my own music. It was one of the few things that I controlled as a kid.
So your mom, so your mom did believe in spanking you, but you're not going to spank your son, right?
Hey, So
that's definitely in case my child's other parent is listening. Noises.
And she'll be a guest on here one day, and y'all get to meet her, and you'll see why I'm like because she's a fighter, and I'm in a fist fighter,
which is crazy. She'll fight everybody. She'll hit anybody but her child.
Yeah, she won't hit the kid, but she's hit me. You know what I'm saying? And played it off too. Like slapped the fire at me one day and rubbed it. Like slapped me, and instead of her hand going past my face, it landed at my face. So it was the full force of a slap, but no head movement.
Yeah.
And then she just rubbed my face and said she loved me, which let me know she would kill me. You know what I'm saying? Like immediately I knew, like, oh man, like she's throwed off. And we're gonna have to have a discussion on throwed offness later on. But because throwed off is different from crazy. It's throwed off is like a crazy is like, oh man, they crazy, wow. But throwed off is like, hey,
throw it off is constantly questioning if there's something wrong with, like, throw it off is he
like, you can't.
I don't know what it is. I think like it's always somebody who's got like a little trait. You don't know how to exactly identify what's wrong with them. You just know it's something a little throw it off about them.
Yeah, and see, that's speaking of throw it off kids. Throw it off, I believe, comes from when your parents don't have a good balance of discipline. Sometimes you know what I'm saying. Like you can be thrown off. There's a lot of things that can do that, and one of the things probably is not beating your kids, because when you've never heard a kid that got beat snap at his mom like that. Like you would hear a kid say, oh man, you can't let your parents talk to you like that. I've never thought about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one time my mom was spanking me I was like 13, and she was beating me with a belt, and I caught the belt one time, and she told everybody. Yeah, she told everybody I tried to fight her.
That is what black mothers do. Yeah. The conversation always goes the same. They call their closest friend or their sister or whoever. Do you know this little nigga tried to fight me? Yeah. Well, all I did was put my arm up, and the belt swung around it, and I pulled, and the belt came out your hand. At no point was that squaring up. But to her, you just declared war.
I remember when I was in 8th grade, I've always been I was a bad kid, but not the typical bad. Like, it was like, like I'm nerdy, so, I'm thinking through my bad. Mm-hmm. And my whole thing was I used to make teachers quit. So when you would get on my bad side, I was like, well, you're going to quit, and I have to go here legally. So what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Like, according to the district,
I have to be here. I have to be here. You don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, your lights might get cut off, but my mom's going to jail if I don't show up. So I would just make teachers quit. Like, that was my thing. I loved it, because like, if you pissed me off, I was like, well, you're an adult and you're going to lose to a child, and you're going to learn today that you're going to lose to a child. And it was stupid at the time, but I would just do stuff like correct them in real minor ways, to the point where they were like, they second guess themselves. Uh-huh. And then I do stuff like I would get enough people in the class to just ignore them.
The teacher.
Yeah. And it's ways you can do it, like where it's, when they address you and you just continue to talk like you didn't notice them, and they say, are you talking? And you say, yeah, give me one moment. And then you continue to talk. Or like you say, I have to go to the restroom, and they say, I don't have to go. You can't leave now. You say, okay, and you stand up and walk out.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was my thing.
Substitutes the only power that is crazy, because I think most substitutes,
these weren't even subs. These were real teachers. Yeah,
I was gonna say, because substitutes, the only power they have is controlling when you can go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. So they try to abuse it. No, you can't go. It's like, dude, you're a sub. You're not even gonna be here tomorrow for me to be suspended. So
these were full blown teachers, man. I made
did like, after making the teachers quit, was there disciplinary action for that from your mom?
Yeah. So like I was really like basically killing this lady with words, and the thing that used to catch me was I was like, you're going to die soon, and I'm still real young. And if I die now, I'll be remembered as I died young, and you're going to be old, and that's it.
That's
and
right. You were
13. Yeah. And I was ruthless. And
it's crazy because as an adult listening to that,
super
I want
nice,
to go back in time and like beat the crap out of 13-year-old you, but 13-year-old me would have high-fived you.
Yeah, so. That's how it was. And then I was getting bullied. So it was weird because everybody was getting bullied in middle school, but we didn't know it was bullying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just like, this is what everybody goes through. And so I was like, yeah, I would, verbally joust with the teachers, and I might win some, might lose some, but I will always say something that you're going to think about at night. And I'm going to go home thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So, I'm going to win either way. And, this chick, like the teacher recorded me. She called my mom and put the phone on speakerphone. Just cell phones were hot.
Right.
I had a cell phone too. So I was one of the few kids in the class with a cell phone because, my mom got off work after I got home.
Right.
So, she called my mom, and my mom heard me destroying this lady. And I used to do it real calm too. Like I was one of those kids, like, because I grew up.
So you weren't shouting or anything?
No, it was just like, yeah, man, so like, you're wrong. Not only are you wrong, but you went to school for this and you're wrong. And like, I was that kind of kid. Like I used to tell them like, I got my whole life to mess up. And when I mess up and I get it, I hit rock bottom and come back up to the top, you'll have died before I hit rock bottom. Like I was that type
Ruthless.
of kid. Yeah.
Ruthless.
Yeah. So that's why I don't roast people now. Cause I don't know what it is. I've never been able to do the whole, like, I can insult you as a person. I can insult you and you'll fight me at the end of it. But I've never been good with the, like, oh man, look at the shoes. Haha. I've never been good at that.
So what are you going to do with your son as opposed to
fight?
You going to actually, so you're not going to whoop him. You're just going to go straight in the actual.
Cause she said I couldn't whip him.
But she didn't say nothing about like squaring up with him.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I feel like when you get to the point, like I feel like, a whipping sucks because you're completely submissive in a whipping. And a whipping only breeds hate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when
it's completely out of anger.
Yeah. After I made them teachers quit, my mom beat me for like 2 hours, right? And I tell her, I'm like, Mom, you remember the time you beat me for 2 hours? She's like, it wasn't straight though. And I was like,
it was an hour. I needed a break, and then we did another hour.
Yes, she did. She made me take off all my clothes. She was like, I'm not gonna beat you. She said, I'm not gonna beat the clothes I bought. And which is the coldest phrase of you own me.
I'm not gonna beat the clothes I bought. First off, these clothes cost too much for me to be putting a belt against.
Yeah.
Your ass, on the other hand.
That's why I was like, I'll never let nobody own me. I'll walk off a job. I'll leave everything behind the second I realize, oh man, I don't own myself no more.
Right.
And at the time, like she beat me for like 2 hours and stuff. And like I remember she took a break, got something to drink. You know what I'm saying? I was crying. I mean, like with the belt. She made me lay in the bed and beat me. And, at first I was like, this, you screaming for a while at first. And then after a while, you just like, this just hurts. And I'm tired of screaming. And I was like, man, fuck this. I bought some clothes that I was working with my uncle. Mm-hmm. Cause I was doing construction with him on weekend. I was only like 13. And I put all the clothes that I had on. I had actually bought a book bag. Mm-hmm. I had bought a bike. Because I liked having my own money, and I put all my stuff on. And I, walked outside and went down the street, and I made it a block. And my uncle pulled up on the side of me from his house because he had just moved out of the house that we were in, and he says, "Hey, I heard your mama beat your ass." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "See, that's why you can't lie." He was like, "You knew you was in trouble in school." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "So why you just ain't say, yeah, fuck it, you already in trouble. Don't lie and get in trouble twice." That's why I became the person who I am today. When I was kind of like, yeah, this is gonna end bad, but oh well,
right?
Like
if it's already gonna end bad, you might as well just go ahead and get it over with. There's no need in trying.
I'm not gonna pump fake you. I won't lie to you. Like that's one thing I won't lie to you. If I say it, I'm gonna do it. I mean it. It's because I know I'm already in trouble because I'm in the situation in the first place. So let's just thug it out to see how far it go. Like I've made a lot of bad decisions, and I will make a worse decision than you will because I don't see it going any worse. So I'm like, part of me is kind of like, I wonder how bad this.
The worst is what you're thinking of already. Like, but you don't realize if you try to lie or if you try to get out of it, there's worse that happens after that.
So I lived. What happened was I ran away from home, stayed at his house, and he was still building his house, so it wasn't finished yet. It was only like 2 rooms complete. So I stayed at his house for like a month, And I would go to Checkers because Checkers was across the street from my middle school, so I walked to Checkers, buy me like 2 double cheeseburgers, go home, eat that, and watch whatever came on the antenna. And I did that for like a month, and then my mom was like, "You need to come home," and I was like, "Can I come home?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I really was coming home to get clothes,
right?
And she was like, "You can come home," and she felt bad. And I ain't feel bad. I not at any point that I wouldn't do that again. And
right.
that let me know, like, oh man, that's not right. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to be like that. Mm-hmm. And I started actively making decisions to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like this, and it's not like that was just the one thing that made me be a better person, but it was just like
somebody whooping you for 2 hours is going to make you reevaluate.
Yeah. And if you met my mom, like, she's super Jesus up and saved, but in her head it was one of those like, if I don't do it now, the police gonna beat you later. Type situations.
She had a noble reason for doing it.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, for all we know, I could have shot up a school or something. Like, I mean, white kids don't get they don't get whippings. That's what they do.
Crazy. So we've been interchangeably using spankings, whoopings, beatings, mm-hmm. but as black folks, we know that those actually fit into different categories. So tell me if you think I'm spanking is lowest level.
Spanking is like a hand.
Yeah, spanking is tapping you on the back of your jeans, with that, or smacking you on the back of your hand or something like that. Like a spanking is a warning shot. A spanking is for those of y'all mm-hmm. who don't know. Like, I know we've probably got some Caucasians who have never raised their hand to their child that might be listening. Well,
and I'm shocked.
You shouldn't be.
I know.
They negotiate everything. Connor, if you put that down when we get home, I'll let you watch 3 hours of Baby Shark.
Jason, don't you shoot up that school. If you shoot up that school, there will be no more Hot Pockets in the house. That's all they need to do.
They and then my mom she won't let me shoot up the school. I can shoot it up, but then she won't get any more Hot Pockets. Pizza rolls. Pizza rolls.
That I was thinking pizza rolls as soon as I thought about that too.
But yeah, so spankings are the lowest level. Spankings are, hey, don't do this no more. But at the same time, it's not you're being hurt enough for it to
just qualify. I'm letting you know.
Right. Then there's whoopings.
Whoopings come from whippings. Which, right. A whipping is something you get. Usually it comes with an object.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a belt, switch, extension cord. I've been beat with it all.
Oh.
I remember one time my mom hit me with a frying pan, and we were in the kitchen, and our fridge door opened up.
Hold on. You skipping ahead. That's not even a whooping category. That's going to the next one. Hold on.
Yeah.
Because okay, so like I was gonna say the worst thing I got whooped with. My mom got so mad at me that she pulled. This was one of the old tube TVs. Mm-hmm. She pulled the cord, and I don't mean an extension cord like that. I'm talking about the actual cord that was powering the TV. She mm-hmm. yanked that out the back of the TV and proceeded to beat me with that.
Yeah.
And I was just like.
See, that's a beating at that point, because a beating is past whooping. Like, a whooping is I am chastising you. A beating is I'm relieving my frustration.
Oh, yeah.
And see, that's the thing.
I don't care what happens to you. I don't care if it's markings. I don't care.
My mom.
That's a beating.
My mom. So one day, my mom, I guess she was having a frustrated day, and we were outside. We weren't supposed to be outside, and then she came in the house and she beat me because I was the one who she saw outside, but I was the only one outside to get my little sister. And you know my little sister, mm-hmm. and you know that I've always gotten in trouble
behind her.
Because I'm pretty chill. And so what ends up happening is my mom walks in the house and just starts beating me with every fucking thing she could find. And it's the first thing she grabbed was the cord, the steel cord that I used to lock my bike up with.
Oh, wow.
And I got a few licks from that, and I'm running, and I'm bigger than my mom at this point.
Right.
Like, I was like I probably was like going to 9th grade, and I was probably like 5'8", mm-hmm. and I know I was probably 200 pounds, and my mom was maybe 5'4", like she's 5'4", so. No, I think my mom is 5'3".
I meant to ask when you were saying that whooping that she gave you where she beat you for 2 hours. Is that the worst that you got?
Yeah, that's the worst.
And that was for what again?
Making a teacher quit. I made 2 teachers quit that year though.
The worst whooping I ever got. The worst whooping I ever. This still qualifies as a whooping, but the worst whooping I ever got. I called my mama a bitch.
Ha! Never.
Okay, so
because I ain't gonna win that one.
So
I come from a long line of everyone that's had a gun pulled on them by their mom family.
Yeah.
So,
but so here's the thing. So my mom was on crack, and back in the day, everybody had to participate in school fundraisers back then. Like everybody had to. It wasn't voluntary like it is now, or you sign up online. None of that.
I remember they used to bring that box by.
Every kid
had to sell candy.
Every kid, you got the candy and you got the brochure so that they could order more candy.
Yeah.
And so what my mom did was she would take the brochures and she would go around to like local businesses and her friends and stuff and be like, hey, order this. And then when it comes in, I'll bring it. But she never did. She just took the money. So I followed her around one day and I seen her doing that. And I was just so mad that she was using my school fundraiser
to raise money for a habit.
Raise money for crack. I lost my mind. I completely just, in a blind rage, I was like, you bitch. She didn't even know I was following her, first off. So first, she didn't even know where you bitch came from. She's like...
But she knew your voice because she a mom.
She knew, like, okay, I remember the look on her face. The look on her face was so confused because it was like, yeah, like you said, she knows my voice, but she knows there's no way in hell that she heard. So first she was trying to figure out where the sound came from, and then she needed to confirm that it was actually me.
Yeah.
And once she got eyes on me, she chased me. She chased me down. This is the first time I ever seen my mom run. I swore up and down my mom did not run, but she ran after me. The only reason I got away was because she chased me up on a porch, and I jumped off the porch and then ran the rest of the way home. So I get home. I'm waiting for her. She doesn't show up. My dad shows up. And my dad goes, mind you, they both are on drugs. So I guess they met up someplace doing drugs together, and she told him the story, and he comes and goes, so your mama tells me you called her a bitch today. Get upstairs. I'm like, oh, crap. And this is how I knew. My dad's a really dramatic person. Everything he does has like a Morgan Freeman movie flair to it. And he goes, I just want you to know this is going to hurt you a lot more than it hurts me. Or this is going to hurt me a lot more than it hurts you, which is the biggest lie a parent tells their child before they strike them.
This is the thing.
At no point is that true. I've whooped my daughter countless times, and each time I might feel some kind of way about it, but I guarantee you that she feels worse.
See, this is the thing about having a crackhead parent. Like my dad, he smoked crack, and I know, like he always wants to act like he wasn't smoking crack by the time like
you came along. Yeah,
but I'm like, Dad, I remember you beating my mom smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when you rocked up the house smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember all that. So like you formed me into the man I am today. And my dad always calls me. He's like, my dad is mad that I don't talk to him and that I don't have a good relationship with him. And it's just like, it's not like I hate you. I just don't value you in any way. You know, and it's weird to say that, but he left me and my little sister with my mom. We've been homeless.
Hold on. You know what? Hold on. Because there's a whole daddy issue.
We're going to do a dad episode.
Yeah. Because we both have a lot to talk about with our dads.
Especially when they on crack dads.
And see, I love and hate my dad at the same time. Like, we have that kind of relationship. It's like, I'm going to send you a card for Father's Day, but it's probably going to have like a drawing of you decapitated, you know.
See, I'm indifferent to my dad. Like, I'm the type of person, like, I feel like, okay, everyone says the opposite of love is to hate, right? That's a lie. The opposite of love is to not care, because I can love.
It's indifference,
yeah.
Because if you hate something, you really love it, but the emotion is just on the other side of the spectrum. I used to say that about, you know, when I learned that, I couldn't stand Lil Wayne when he became Lil Wayne the Martian. After like right before Carter 3, but like after Carter 2, that whole little period where he was just experimenting with a bunch of crap. I was Wayne's biggest hater, but I wasn't blindly hating on him. Like, kids now, like, blindly hate on Drake. They're like, oh, Drake's horrible. And I'm like, have you heard the song? And they're like, no, I just know Drake makes horrible music. That wasn't me. It was like, man, Lil Wayne sucks. And it's like, you heard the song? It's like, yeah, I can quote it line for line. I can tell you exactly what he said that I dislike.
But that's what you had to do back then. Like, for you to say a song is bad, you had to be able to recite the verse to somebody else.
And I could. And that's how I knew that hate was I'm like, I'm basically a Lil Wayne fan who just has a negative opinion. That's it. A hater's just a fan
like,
with negative opinion.
Like that's why I tell people, like, I have no hate for any, you know me. Like, you know, there have been people who I've disagreed with a lot. And, you know, in past life and this life. And I've always been like, it take too much for me to dislike you than I want to put into this.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you know me, like, I could be in the same room with somebody and they're like, oh, man, I bet he's over here thinking about me. And I'm like, man, I have lost my joint. That was yesterday. Yesterday, I was like, everybody's like, man, Sterling over here, he not talking about it. Oh, man,
Sterling must be mad. Sterling must be,
I'm just thinking, I have lost my joint and I can't find it and I want to be high. Like, more than likely, I'm thinking about something I'm dealing with because once I find out that you dislike me, you just don't exist anymore because if you dislike me, it would be stupid for me to make you try to like me. And then if you dislike me, it would be stupid for me to put thought into you disliking me because I can't control you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I can't make you like me.
Yeah. The coolest thing is to just be like, oh, they dislike me. That's great. That's one person I don't have to think about. And I just immediately just stop. Like, I can easily just, oh, yeah, I guess they don't exist anymore. Oh, well. And if you like, just like, you know, people block people, I don't block anyone because why would I block you? Like, that takes work. I can literally just not acknowledge you.
I'm too emotional. I block you. I will block you and then I'll unblock you to tell you I blocked you and then reblock you so that when you check the message, it shows you that you're blocked. Like,
you know me. Look,
before
we get off, we about to get off. So you know me. I would rather if it ain't serious enough for us to walk up to each other and say, okay, well, we're gonna fight about this, and I'm gonna say, okay. And then we could just fight. If it's not that serious, it's not real. I can be indifferent to it. I'm indifferent to Donald Trump. Are you or are you not?
Oh, no, I'm a fan. We're going to talk about that on another show, too.
On the next time
I'm one
Effa podcast.
I'm one of the very few black supporters
of Donald
Trump.
I
didn't vote for him.
I
just support him. But that's a topic for another show.
And y'all going to learn why.
So this has been Effa Podcast with the legendary Sonny G and
Sterling Moody.
Give me your info.
Y'all know y'all can follow me on Instagram at Sterling Moody. You can also follow me on Twitter at The Trap Buddha. That's TheTrapBuddha.
And then I am the legendary Sonny G, Sonny with an O, not a U. You can find me on everything, Trap Nerd Sonny. And you can also find our information on Trap Nerd ENT on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, we about to take over the world. So make sure y'all are tuning in.
Effa Podcast.
Effa Podcast. Y'all be cool. This is the legendary Sonny G, and thank you for tuning in to Effa Podcast. You can also go ahead and follow us at Trap Nerd ENT on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can also go to our Patreon if you enjoy what we do and make a donation. Patreon.com/TrapNerdENT, and be on the lookout for future events. Sign up for our email list at trapnerdent@gmail.com. Again, thank you for listening. Y'all be cool like how y'all be cool.